Hello and welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Jalil Kabiru. We're here to talk about the finance bill, hinting from the John Mbadi, Cabinet Minister for Treasury, hinting that they want to review that finance bill that was rejected. Take some few clauses from there so that we can be able to run our country. Prof, first of all, you listen, the youth said we are rejecting it. We don't want it to be amended. It must go. And now government tells us that, look, there's some few goodies inside there that we can use. Is this the right way to go?
Dishonesty. And the dishonesty in public affairs is it never pays. It pays to be. Don't display dishonesty. You can be dishonest chini ya maji. This dishonesty. They agreed with the people of Kenya that they are going to reject the finance bill, and they rejected it. You know you have to go clause by clause in parliament. That's where they went. To revive it is to show the highest level of dishonesty as a government, number one. And it is Mutadu. Yeah, Mutadu, who are you?
He went on TV trying to convince Kenyans. Yeah. Is it dishonesty or being honest in some sense of
there's
we don't have money?
No, which money?
Even teachers are striking
you see,
on
if
money.
Mbadi cannot do this job, and I'm sure maybe he may not do it, let them just get salary and go home. This finance bill was to raise 44 billion shillings. That's as simple as that. That's the truth. It was not supposed to raise the budget, the whole budget, the money for the whole budget. No, it was just a finance bill introduces new measures to help government raise new taxes over and above the ones they had raised the previous year. And in this case, it was 340 billion, 46 something billion shillings. So what is Mbadi trying to tell us? But if it is a question of government, this government, the Ruto government, is just doing what it is known for. They said BBI was bad. The country will collapse. The world will collapse. The sun will fall down if we pass BBI. They have brought everything back about BBI. They said it's not about, they didn't want positions. Mudavadi is prime minister. Everything they said, Nusumukata here it is. Everything they rejected in the BBI, they have brought, if you look at it. So that is in keeping with their way of doing things.
So even the finance bill is coming
back. Yeah, just say, you say something is bad or what, and you reject it and bring it back. But for Mbadi, it shows that he's not capable of running that ministry. Unfortunately, I'm sorry for him, but he cannot run.
What do you do? Because the conversation...
He can be a small accounts clerk in some department at Treasury, but he cannot be a Treasury CS. Because if a 300 billion gap presents nightmares to you, then you can't do anything. You can't run the ministry.
Why do you think we're getting this perception that the government has been handcuffed in some
Which how? I've told you.
In that they cannot stretch.
I've told you the finance bill was to help the government raise like 300 billion. A finance bill does not make government raise the entire revenue. It is, we look at what we raised last year because you must get permission from parliament to raise money. It was giving us so much. We want to raise more than that. Can you allow us? So it is that extra 300. And if this is presenting a nightmare to government, then it's not fit to be a government.
You know now.
First of all, I've told them, not Manyora. Let them go to a good primary school and give them the estimates. Tell, this is our budget for this year. Summarized form. We intend to spend so much on education. And then break it down, universities, blah, blah, teacher salary. We intend to take so much on our roads. This is the money total. We raised 2.4 trillion, so deficit. That primary school will tell them, remove this one from the budget. It's not necessary. What is it doing there? Remove this one from the budget. What is it doing there? So if you use that approach, then Mbadi will realize you will save from that budget about 600 to 700 billion. The finance bill was raising 300 billion. So do you need to worry about the finance bill? You just need to remove useless things like CDF from the budget. And automatically, the budget has balanced. But much more seriously, does government and Mbadi in this instance tell us there's no other way of raising money other than taxes? Do you know, young man, government institutions parastatals, universities, schools, colleges. And many of those state they bank money in commercial banks. Billions of shillings of government money is banked in commercial banks. Billions. Hundreds of billions. And then the government goes to borrow. Its own money. Where is Mbadi? These, if I meet them, I can slap them.
But
Watch them chezo. Government can just use part of its own money. Yeah, government can just use part of its own money. In fact, forget about treasury bills, treasury bonds, which is a complicated concept. If government just asks Kenyans, we need some little money. We need 500 billion. We don't want to go and borrow from anybody. This is your country. Give us. And an arrangement where if you give us in January, you gave us 10,000 in January. Christmas time, tutakupa 2,000 uende ukule 10 yako bado ianze kuzaa. They will get more. So these people like Mbadi, these are useless people. They can't run anything.
You make a lot of sense, but
Yes.
I listened to Professor Njuguna Ndung'u when he was leaving, and he was saying we don't need to raise taxes, but he was the one implementing taxes. What does this show?
In fact, I have told you many times, if I'm the president of this country, I will almost reduce the taxes by more than 50%. You don't need it.
My question is, Njuguna Ndung'u knew.
Yes.
That's why he was saying that. But it is through his term, Finance Bill 2023, that he was being criticized for raising taxes.
Because these are weak people. They are not men. These are just weaklings. They just talk. You need a man who can be a man. You got people like Nyachai were there, and they did things which Moi had to agree with. They may not have been very good, but at least they left impact. They made people like Michuki. Look at the few days Michuki was at the treasury, acting or something like that. Or security, or transport. There are men who can do things to explain later to the president and help the president to see. But these people like Njuguna, you are there for all those, then you begin to complain later. Why didn't you do those things? Why are you afraid? Kwani mtu anakupiga? If I'm a minister, will the president can me? I'll tell him, Mr. President, with all humility, we can't do this to this country. We can't tax Kenyans anymore. But I want to show you where money is. Forget about how wazungu wanatudanganya. We have money in this sector. Let's get it. We have money in the mining sector. We can bring collaborative effort in the marine life to export, to exploit our part of the ocean, Indian Ocean. Naivasha, Lake Naivasha, Lake Victoria, our part of this, we can get huge amounts of money. We are sitting on huge mineral deposits. What can you do about these deposits?
How would you describe how the government is running now? Because it seems like we know the truth. These conversations, we hear them, they know it.
Yes.
How would you describe how government is running? Because despite this knowledge that is before
there are two problems. Problem number one is ignorance. Actually, there are three. But number one goes together with number two. They can call them ignorance and the cowardice. People are ignorant, but they are also weaklings. They are not really people. They are just weaklings, costlings. People, if you shout, sauti wanaanguka chini. So they can't even help anybody. That ignorance. So that's the first problem. But then we have another group of people who know what is right. Who know we can turn around this economy. We can reduce taxes instead of increasing them. We can pull down the slums instead of this tokenism in the so-called housing project. Then you go and put up 90 houses. Somewhere, I read somewhere in your mirror, 90 houses. So what exactly are you doing? There are people who know that is not working. But they are under the spell either of the president, but increasingly more so of the globalists, IMF, World Bank, and other globalists who are driving the agenda in the world. So you may know something is good because you have the intellect to know so. But you don't have the power to say no either to the president or to the big boys from the global scene. That's where the problem is.
So as you look at the government, do you see any change that can happen anytime soon? Because time is running out. I think Korea...
Mbadi is the epitome of what's going on. He tells you what to expect from this government. There's nothing you'll expect from government. Government will continue doing the things they know to do. And they are not doing bad things. It's just that the scale of what they are doing cannot transform this country. The bar is so low. Our standards are so low. If the thinking of Mbadi is the thinking of government and the thinking of the country, then you can assure Kenyans will continue to die in poverty, die from every treatable disease will still kill Kenyans. Our children will still go to school with jiggers in their toes. They will receive the worst form of education in the 21st century. But we will remain as a country. So we must give them accolades. They are good people. They are struggling very hard. But you don't expect change. Unfortunately for us, them included, the world we are going in is difficult. The future is difficult. Look, I don't have to say it. Nobody has to say it. The truth is, every passing year, hundreds of thousands of young people are joining the job market, if not millions, without any single hope of ever getting a job. How, is that sustainable in the long run? Can you live in a country? Can Nairobi be a city where you can live? I was watching something. Can Nairobi be a city where somebody can feel safe? If out of 6 million people, 2 million people are jobless, 3 million people are jobless, is it a safe place to be? No wonder our homes have become forts. Yeah? You put a stone wall, that's not enough. You run an electric wire on top, that's not enough. Uko na umbwa kali, that's not enough. Uko na watchman wawili security with a backup from these security companies. Anything, that's not enough. Your door is like bomb proof.
Yeah.
That's not enough. The corridor to the living room or upstairs where people sleep, there's a grill. That's not enough. You go to your bedroom, is another grill. What are we talking about?
CCTV.
Yeah, CCTV everywhere. So what are we talking about? We are admitting that we have failed. We are running away from our own people. There are cities where there are cities in this world where there isn't a single fence around any home. Hakuna nyumba iko na fence. There are many cities in this world. There is not a single fence. To fence yourself in, to turn it into a fortress, is to try to protect yourself against your own people. And why are you protecting yourself? Because things are not working in your country. Because we have created armies of jobless people. You have given them useless education because you have stolen the money meant for education.
Speaking of education,
so you have stolen the hope.
Teachers are striking.
See, what are we talking about today? Everybody's on strike today. Teachers want to strike, Kudeha wants to strike, university, everybody's talking strike. It's an admission of failure. And the sooner we get that, the better. People like Mbadi should help the government. I thought they went there as experts. They are probably even worse. So what experts are these Mbadi? I thought they were going to help Ruto. Say, look, no, we have been outside. Tumekuwa uko nje. Na ground, uko nje ni mbaya. Watu wanaumia manze. Watu wanaumia. Sisi tumekuwa nje tumejua. So, tupulize tusaidie kidogo raia. Tafadhali. Now he's making it worse. Bure kabisa.